Oh gosh, it's so great to be a part of a BoxLunch event. It's such, and the holiday guy. I'm a big holiday person, so when they asked me to come in to perform tonight, I was like, absolutely. I'm taking off my show, the genie in Aladdin on Broadway, and so they said, come on in and let's do a little something for the holiday gala tonight. So I was like, okay, I'll get on a plane. Let's do it. Let's make it happen. And now I'm here, so it's an honor to get to be here and be a part of it.
And it's for such a good cause too, feeding America.
It's the best, and it's why when I first got connected with BoxLunch, I was just so impressed and so taken by how, what it stands for. And that for me is like, as an artist, like I want to be a part of it. I want to be a part of, something that means something, and it does. So it's an honor to be a part of it.
Now, I have a question about your show, because you're so lively and energetic. Has there ever been an instance where there was a situation where you just had to straight improv a scene that turned out to just be so memorable for you that you'll never forget it?
Yes, and in fact, when that happened, because there was sort of like some craziness with some of the tech stuff, I did a little bit of improv stuff, and it has stayed now in the show.
Oh.
So it was like a lovely little accident.
Do you get a writing credit for that?
No. But we know it's me.
Oh, we know it's you. We know it was him. So it's been so great watching you and seeing your face everywhere, starting from stock photography, going into television shows that are critically acclaimed, into the MCU, and now into the Barbie movie. What's the biggest difference from you going from a Marvel being a superhero into being a Ken?
Right. Yeah. It's a lot of Kens don't have body hair, so that was new. Getting waxed was new. But honestly, I mean, what really connected those two experiences for me is just how fulfilling and collaborative they were. I mean, I've had such good fortune to work with two incredible filmmakers, and Destin and now Greta. It's honestly just been an embarrassment of riches and such a joy. And I feel like the world has been so curious about this movie, and the less I reveal about it, the better. I just want people to be so surprised when they see Barbie in theaters in summer of 2023 or whenever. It's going to be a fun ride.
I'm looking forward to it, and I'll leave that part on suspense. I have a question for your inner child now, being that you are a superhero in the MCU. Is there any Marvel Comics hero that your inner child would be ecstatic to team up with, if they could decide?
All of them. Literally, all of them. I always say Korg, because Korg's great, but the reason why, aside from Korg being great and legitimate contender, is that sometimes when you say when you vocalize it, Marvel has a way of tiptoeing around it. Because if you speak it out into the world, we're trying to subvert expectations and surprise people, right? So I can't say what I truly...
Well, you've already manifested yourself into the MCU, so maybe you can manifest this too.
Yeah, maybe. Oh, I'm manifesting it in my head.
Okay.
We'll just have to wait and see.
What's up? How are you?
Not bad. How are you guys doing today?
We're doing well. I was just telling Ann, I was like, Timble of Geek, we're going to be doing an interview with you guys next week in Anime NYC.
Yeah.
We're going to be out there.
You guys are.
Yeah.
And actually, who you're interviewing with is much more qualified than I am.
Oh, really?
She's a huge fan, and
amazing.
She's going to cherish your interview forever.
I love that. So you're telling me that you will not cherish any moment of this?
I mean, I will. We'll say mine will be at a 9, but hers will be at like a 13.
Oh,
Okay.
All right.
Okay. I mean, a 9 is still fantastic.
Yeah.
9 is a good number. Yeah.
Now, Jujutsu Kaisen has just taken off, and you had a phenomenal first season. You have a second season about to come out in 2023, I believe now. What can we look forward to from your guys' characters and character arcs in the new coming season?
Oh my goodness, this is total manga spoilers.
I was gonna say, do you want to get spoiled? Look, you're gonna get to see stories from the past, of other characters, not mine, because it's fine. She lives in the present, but you're gonna see everybody kind of come together for this really big event that keeps getting hinted at, that I can't say anything more about, but it's going to just change the face of the world, the Jujutsu world,
Yeah, you're gonna see, look, by the end of the first season, we start seeing the characters put in situations that make it really tough on them, and there's just going to be more of that season 2. Look, obviously we don't know what's coming because we haven't seen it yet, but I would say that season 2 of Jujutsu Kaisen has the potential to be like one of the best season 2s of any anime. Because of what we know is coming in the manga, so I'm very, very excited about it.
Looking forward to that. As back to the first season, were there any scenes or things that you had to portray that you found were difficult, or just a scene that you thought was fun to just voice in general?
Oh, like the whole season?
Yeah.
No, in particular, there's this one scene where my character Nobara is fighting another character named Momo, and they're having this kind of philosophical debate about women's place in Jujutsu society, and Nobara just goes to town. She tells her I don't care about everyone's expectations. Screw the patriarchy. I like to be pretty. I like to be strong, and I can do both. And that is that's my rally cry for the rest of my life.
Yeah,
she's so awesome.
It's amazing. Yeah, and for me, gosh, I think one of the things I love about the series is there are really funny moments, and you kind of get that bigger, broader comedy. But there's also really grounded, serious moments, and these characters actually go through really hard things. So it's fun to, as an actor, to get to run the gamut of all of these things. So yeah, it's amazing.
We're looking forward to season 2. I know our other correspondents are looking forward to their interview with you.
Yes.
I hope you guys have a great time. Have a great time tonight, and thank you.
Thank you so much. Nice to meet you.
What's up, man?
Pleasure meeting you.
You too. Meet you. Hey.
Just start off saying it's an honor meeting you, watching you grow from that tiny corner in your kitchen, becoming just a straight fashion icon at a Gala event on the red carpet.
I don't know about that, but hey, thank you for gassing me up though. I did this by myself for once. Usually I have a stylist. His name is Sky, but every now and then I go out and I don't have time to hit up Sky, or we don't have time, so I do it by myself, and I hear his voice in my head, and it comes out great. So even if I do it by myself, Sky, you did this, man. This is us.
This was for Sky.
This is for Sky.
This was for Sky.
Absolutely.
If you don't mind, I have a couple rapid fire questions. I know you've answered on your content before.
Okay.
But I just want to get them rapid fired out there.
I love rapid fire questions.
All right. Favorite Disney classic animated feature?
Hercules.
Favorite Pixar film?
Wally.
Favorite Studio Ghibli film?
Oh, Spirited Away.
Favorite non-Disney animated film?
Oh, Iron Giant.
Favorite horror?
It Follows.
Favorite horror franchise?
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Fantasy franchise?
Lord of the Rings.
Sci-fi franchise?
Doctor Who? Yes!
All right. Favorite Doctor?
11. Matt Smith.
Geronimo.
Geronimo!
Oh, I'm going to take a break.
Did you show them this?
I have Daleks in my...
I love that. He has Daleks in his suit.
It's actually 10th Doctor tie too.
Dude, I love this.
Yeah.
I love this. 10th, I acknowledge is the best. 11 is still my favorite. Demons run when a good man goes to war.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Do you mind if I say something might be a little controversial about 11 though?
Ooh, same.
Ooh. All of his speeches were for nothing. All of his best speeches were for nothing.
Wait a minute. Now I gotta think about this, because you immediately took me to the Pandora. The Pandora opens.
Demons Run was a trap?
Wait a minute. Wait, not the first one. No, wasn't for nothing. The first one wasn't for nothing.
No, about was it the Atraxi, I think?
Yeah, the Atraxi.
Okay, no, that wasn't a trap.
I'm the Doctor, basically.
Yeah, that was a good one. That was a good
one. Oh, and the speech against the Weeping Angels and the Byzantium.
Oh, don't ever put me in.
Don't ever put me in a trap. Yeah.
Rings of Azkaban.
Rings of Azkaban.
Didn't do anything. Beaten by a leaf.
You're fucking right. Because he gave everything and it didn't do nothing. It was still. You're fucking me up, man. Can I cuss? I'm sorry. I don't know if I can cuss.
No, we're good.
Okay. But, okay. There's some that worked, but there's more that didn't. And now I'm going to be thinking about this.
I'll give that to you.
I'm going to be sitting at the table thinking about this now.
To meet you too. I hear your voice all the time.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, I know the photon barrier is very
Oh,
annoying.
yeah, I know. Maybe but you were meant for greatness. We know this, right?
Oh, thank you very much. So you were in Ms. Marvel, which was amazing, by the way. What was your experience on that show?
Nothing but joy. Like from the day we started to the day we stopped shooting, it was so joyful. Even when you're shooting, like I remember the overnight shoots that we were doing, and I was just happy to be there, even though we were all freezing and outside. The people that were involved in this show, from top to from everyone, the crew, the cast, the creators, everybody was obviously there because it was a labor of love, and you felt that. You really felt that when you were on set. So it was a great joy.
Yeah, just even like the crowd, like the church scene when the kids dangling from the even that just felt like everyone outside, it felt like so much like a community. And was that something that was just genuinely shared?
Well, here's the thing. I think it's a very common thing in South Asian culture. You have your community. You're very tight. And I think a lot of cultures do have that, right? Where it's not exclusive. We're not excluding other people of other cultures. But when you move to another country or when you move to America, you still want to maintain that sense of community from your old country, right? So what I loved about that, how it was depicted in the show, is very much how I grew up, where we hung out with all the other Indian people in my community, but we also said if there was someone else of another culture, come on in, let's share this with you. We want to share this with you. And I love that you caught that. I love that you caught that sense of community from the show, because I think it's a very important part of a lot of cultures that doesn't necessarily get seen in broader entertainment. So it was definitely intentional.
Yeah, and also the sense of family as well just felt all very genuine. It was just a great, heartwarming show all around.
Yeah. Well, again, I know a lot of people have focused on the culture of the show, but really the story is a young woman's coming of age and stepping into her power, right? And the families are all the same. We all have families that care about their children, want their children to be safe, want their children to be happy. We all have kids who rebel against their parents and want to do all the things. These are universal stories, regardless of your background. And so I'm so glad that we had a chance to show that to the world, maybe in a slightly different background, a slightly different cultural background, but it's still a story about a young girl stepping into her superpower. That's the lane that we go in, and I'm really glad that people got to see it that way.
Now, to switch gears a little bit, Overwatch 2 just recently came out.
Sure did.
So how are you feeling about that and the reception of it now?
I love it. I mean, look, any chance we have to delve deeper into the storylines of these characters is exciting for me. Because one of the things that I think was so special about Overwatch when it first came out is that you had all of these heroes, and none of them were defined by any one characteristic. They were all a set of unique things. Yes, there may be people from different countries, and there may be people of different genders, but there was no one thing that defined any one of them. So you had all of these complex backgrounds that you wanted to learn more about, but there are so many heroes, you can't do it all at once. So I love the fact that now with Overwatch 2, we're having the chance to do that, in addition to finding new ways to play the game. I think it's really fun. I've been enjoying it a lot.
Have you had a chance to play? I actually haven't asked that or found that out myself. Have you had a chance to play as Symmetra yourself in game?
I haven't had a chance to play Overwatch 2 as Symmetra in game. I played Overwatch, and then when at BlizzCon in 2019, I got to play the sort of sample that they had out there. It was even before the beta, so I got to play that, which was very exciting. But on that one, I played Reinhardt. I didn't get to play Symmetra, but that's a beautiful thing, because anything with Darren DePaul's voice in it, I want to play. He's brilliant, and he's full of love. But yeah, I'm very excited. I haven't had the time to sit down and really get into it, but I can't wait. I can't wait to get some of those new skins too.
Are there any new voice lines that you're particularly fond of?
Yes, but I can't tell you what they are because I'd have to kill you. There's a lot more, I think we see a lot more of her connection with the other characters and her relationship with the other characters. Maybe not the story about how it happens, but you see her interacting with a lot more of them, and I think that's really cool, because in the first
round that we had in the beginning of Overwatch, she was slightly isolated, and her interactions with people, other than Lucio and maybe a little bit with Sombra, her interactions were essentially like, oh, you're my teammate, oh, you're my teammate. Now we get to have like deeper conversations about what they think about each other and their backgrounds, and I think that's really cool.
Which is true, because I've noticed like you'll have certain team makeups and there'll be a whole conversation among them about the picks you made in the game, and also there's banter back and forth where sometimes you're just like, wait, what did they say?
Totally. No, absolutely, and it's so much fun because it's disarming. It's disarming while you're waiting for that door to open or while you're waiting to run to the payload. Like all of a sudden you're hearing this conversation you've never heard before. I think it's very exciting.
Well, I've been enjoying it. I enjoyed Miss Marvel. Thank you so much for your time, and I hope you have a wonderful evening.
Thank you so much. You have a great night.
So, I know a lot of people know you from WandaVision currently. I remember you being a vengeance demon back on Buffy. What was it like going the difference between those two characters for you?
I mean, I played so many different things, honestly. There's really, Anya was just this quirky, confused, funny person, and as far as the character of Dottie versus Dottie not Dottie, different time periods. I mean, that's just a completely different process. So I don't know. And coming back for Agatha, it's just a joy. Honestly, it's just a joy. I don't, every part, every role. I mean, they all have different aspects to them that make them unique and memorable.
Now with Dottie, we did have the different eras going through WandaVision.
Yeah.
What was it like for you going through different eras and adjusting for each time period?
Well, besides amazingly fun, I mean, I suppose the only real challenging aspect was just making sure that first period was, getting the voice and the mannerisms and all that down, because you really wanted it to seem, we want it to be as authentic as possible. Getting that mid-Atlantic, and it's such a fun voice. I'm kind of sad we don't speak like that anymore.
So, well, I mean, we have a multiverse. We have a bunch of different things that happen. Maybe that voice can return at some point.
Oh wow! Even if it did, and I couldn't say anything anyway. So you never know. It's always fun to find out what I'm going to sound like and what I'm going to look like, and I'll see.
Now, I know I'm not going to get an answer for this. I know you're going to be in Agatha. I know it's a coven of witches. Are we going to see a circle around to having another witch in that show?
I can't say anything about that. I can't say anything about
I know you can't.
I'm just a parrot. They'll fire me so fast. It'll never work. So I have to be very, I'm very careful, which is why they honestly don't say that much.
Yeah, very interesting.
The last time I showed up at work and found out what I was doing, and then had some time to prepare, but keep things very, very quiet.
For WandaVision, speaking of showing up and finding out, were there any moments where you showed up and found out and you're just like, oh, dang, like it just hit you like it was a big surprise for you, for your character?
Yeah, all of it was a big surprise. I had no idea what was going on. I mean, I had a little idea, but I was given some basic points, and obviously, I had to be aware that I had to start forming a voice, like a different voice, but the actual extent to which I had to change myself was presented like at the table read. I was like, oh shit, okay, right. But they had people for that, and you were constantly tons of homework and coaching and all that stuff to make it real. It's a blast. I would not, it was a wild sort of thing to be a part of it and to have it come back again. It's cool. Very lucky.
It's amazing. You did an amazing job. Great work. Thank you very much, and I hope you have fun tonight.
Thank you. Hopefully my voice won't go.
Hi, how are you doing today?
Good, how are you?
Pretty good. How are you enjoying the event so far? I know we just got here, but...
Yeah, I just got here, but I'm excited to be here. I love giving back, and I love what Feeding for America does with, in order to solve food insecurity in America.
Cool. And I understand you're in Black Panther,
Yes.
which comes out tomorrow, I believe?
Yes.
How are you feeling about that?
I'm so excited for everyone to see all the hard work that we put into it. It's a very emotional journey, especially with the passing of Chadwick Boseman, but I think this film really honored his legacy and just what he stood for, and I think it's going to be just a beautiful rest, but also a beautiful awakening, like a new life. So I can't really tell you. I saw the movie. It's amazing, and I would just like to tell everybody to stay after the credits and watch everything.
Am I able to ask how many post-credit scenes will there be? Is that okay?
I mean, the suspense should be left with you, but I will tell you it's only one.
Okay. Tell us something about being on the set. What was one of the most difficult things for you to do as far as the Dora Milaje?
Okay, so I also did the original Dora Milaje in Black Panther, the first one, and I think the first time it was shaving my head bald because I had longer hair than I have now. My hair has grown back a lot, but I think that for some reason, women, we have this image of beauty, and I think that by going through this transformation of becoming a Dora Milaje and shaving my head and just really getting into this warrior standpoint, you realize this inner beauty and inner warrior you have as well.
That's really not just great but profound.
Yeah, thank you.
What are you looking forward to most with the release tomorrow?
I'm looking forward to just everyone coming together. I think to me that this Wakanda Forever represents a memorial, but also a celebration of Chadwick, being the Black Panther's life, and then also awakening more. I don't want to give away the film, but it just allows you to come to a place that you can't run away from death. We're all going to die one day. It's a very sad thing, and sometimes people suffer in silence, and it's their choice, but I think that how we celebrate them after they've passed away is what really, that's what's really important. That's how you continue their legacy of them living.
Now, I'll admit, just watching the trailer, I started getting emotional.
Yeah.
1 through 10, how emotionally destroyed am I going to be at the end of this film?
It has its waves. I would say 1 through 10, maybe a 7.5.
Okay.
I think the last scene, definitely a 10. And then there's moments that is definitely very touching and very reflective on the individual experience. And I think it's gonna make people just really appreciate the family that they do have when they have them. And then the people that have passed away to just recognize keeping their legacy alive, what made them happy, and reminding yourself to not go after vengeance, but to go after love. Even if a person dies in a sad way or a destructive way.
Well, thank you very much for your time. I look forward to seeing the movie tomorrow, or tonight at midnight, I guess you would say. And I hope you enjoy the event.
Thank you so much, you too.
What up, buddy?
What's up?
How are you, man?
How
Good
you
to see you.
doing,
Doing good, man. Excited.
Good to see you.
It's always at these awesome events I run into you.
I know, man. How you been?
Doing great, man. I'm so excited for the holidays, man. I'm such a holiday guy.
Dude, how did you stay off social media that long for Wakanda Forever?
It was honestly one of the hardest things that I've done in the climate that we're in, right? Because social media is 100% of the news, and my job is 100% social media. But arguably, the willpower it built up, I think, is going to make me positive. It's going to be a net positive for the rest of my life. Because I think now that I've shown I can do it when I'm peak busy, I'm going to be able to just be screw it for 2 weeks all the time. And that's going to be way better. I need that.
So much happened, and you got James Gunn. How stoked are you for that?
I came back and didn't know that Elon had bought Twitter.
Are you serious?
I didn't know.
So you really were off that month?
I was fully removed.
Bro.
So I got to have, how often in the modern society do you get news that big that you haven't, you know what I mean?
I know.
So it was incredible. The James Gunn news
news, though, is I would argue the best thing to happen to DC since Nolan's Batman trilogy.
Yeah, this is what I wanted to get your thoughts on.
It's foundational, right? So you've got Peter Safran, who's one of the best creative producers in town. He's very hands-on, he's very invested, he loves the fan experience. Then you've got James Gunn, who's likewise invested in the fandom, a very good producer, but he's also a showman, and he loves the comic fandom. So you've got two comic fans, you've got two producers, you've got two of these things, and combined, that's what Kevin Feige does, right? He's a showman who knows the fans and loves the medium. So with these two guys, I honestly think that DC is in a position to not only revitalize all the properties they already have, to dive deep into the D&C listers like James Gunn does so well, and then I think that'll make Marvel better, because Marvel's going to have competition. DC's going to thrive, Marvel's going to have competition. I think that could mean Image making more movies, that could mean Boom Studios doing more. I think the overall comic book culture, this is an exponential increase. This is 2008's Iron Man. This is a zeitgeist shift. This is huge.
Right, and you've got Superman coming. Yeah. You got Henry Cavill back. I mean, Jason Momoa is announcing something that he hasn't announced, but he's like so stoked for it.
I've been saying he'd be a great Lobo for like...
I saw that the other day. I'm going to tell you, I don't know a lot about Lobo, but I saw the picture and I kind of like delved into it a little bit, and I was like, okay, I can already see it.
He's like the punk rock biker Deadpool for DC. Like, he's irreverent, he can heal, he takes down Superman for fun. He's not like fully as irreverent as Deadpool, but he's got that like, I don't care about anything. So Deadpool cares too much, he doesn't care about anything. It's a very interesting, like, he's almost nihilistic in his reckless abandon. So I think it'd be great for Momoa because he's got that like he's got that like, so that would be what he was made to play. Like, it could be incredible.
And I think you and I are on the same page with Henry Cavill about Superman, right? When it comes to like hopeful, Henry wants hope, he wants that kind of a different take from what was before.
I think that the best Superman comics are the ones where not only is Superman aware that he can't do everything he needs to because he's only one guy, even though a Superman, he can hear everything he misses. He's aware of that flaw, but the ones where Superman is able to have hope even when he's in adversity. And I think the flaw that we've been having with Superman is the adversity hasn't felt possible, it hasn't felt tangible, it hasn't felt plausible, when the answer is humanity. The best human in the world isn't even human. The best human is superhuman. The best human is Kal-El, even though he's not human. He's the thing we should aspire to be more like. There should be no vengeance. There should be no rage in him. There should be no darkness. Otherwise, that's not what we need to aspire to look to. So we need a movie that shows us that adversity in here so it externalizes better, in my opinion.
No, it's great. I love the way you articulate. You really are so just pronounced with the way you know what you want to say, and I love it. You always inspire me.
Try, man. I'm always like,
you really do.
I think is a sentence that connects to this.
No,
sometimes I get lost and take a left, and I'm like, okay, we got to find our way back to this journey.
No, but I mean, I love it, Coy, and it's good to see you here tonight, man. I think there's going to be some cool stuff happening from what I've heard.
Dude, best company, man. I truly, before I started working with BoxLunch, this is where I spent all my money. And because, like, to me, every $10 you spend feeding someone, there could be no better reason to support your fandom. Because then you can be like, well, you know, I'm helping people out, and here's another shirt. But also, they are so transparent and forthcoming, and they want to help. And it doesn't feel like some companies that are doing it because they're like, it looks good. They feel good about it. So not only are they invested in the fandom, they care about us, but they care about humans, they care about people. They're the Superman. Like, they're the best. I love BoxLunch.
Dude, thank you, Coy.
Absolutely, man. Always good to see you, man. I'll see you there.